despite promises that supposedly the Joe Manchin side pipeline permitting deal was not going to be given a vote with the Senate version of the National Defense Authorization Act. It's looking like no, that's actually not true. The Senate is going to vote on Manchin's permitting amendment to the defense spending bill. That was announced, again, remember, by the Democrats, because the Democrats are in control of the Senate. Chuck Schumer says, we're gonna vote on that amendment. As you know, Republicans have blocked it in the House, even though permitting reform is something that they've always supported in the past. So I hope they'll help us. Bear in mind, it's not in the House version. So in theory, if it passes in the Senate, they would then have to add it. They would have to have a new version in the House and pass it there. And there doesn't yet look like a really good chance of that happening, but we still have to take this seriously because it didn't look like there was a good chance of it being voted on at all like a week ago. So we're gonna take this seriously. And in case you're not familiar with what this amendment is or why it's being added to the NDAA, let's fill in those blanks for you, because this is something we've been dealing with for some time. Manchin has announced that he's gonna put forward these policies, including faster timelines for environmental reviews, giving the federal government authority to direct electric transmission lines, and approving a natural gas pipeline in West Virginia. So that's gonna be added to the NDAA. Why to the NDAA? You as a reasonable person might say, well, that doesn't sound like it has anything to do with national defense. Bingo, but they're gonna do it anyway because that might pass and they really want this to pass. So, peanut butter and chocolate or something. Anyway, people are rightly angry about this. Organizing group People versus Fossil Fuels tweeted, this is abhorrent. We've stopped this twice now because it sells our communities and planet out for fossil fuel profits. If you haven't already, please take a minute to call your senator and ask them to vote against this. And they provide the phone number, 888-997-5380. Feel free to rewind if you need to. We cannot afford any more fossil fuel projects. And there's a lot of reasons to have a problem with this amendment. I think I could get mad at almost any part of it, but the pipeline approval, the Mountain Valley Pipeline individually is enough. That's a non-starter. Cuts through nearly 1,000 streams and wetlands, but don't worry, it'll probably be the first pipeline in history to not leak or whatever. And in defense of this pipeline, with all of the environmental damage it'll cause in its construction and from the leaks, let alone the increased use of the fossil fuels there. Spokesman for Mr. Manchin said that pipeline will help bring down energy costs, shore up American energy security, and create jobs in West Virginia. An official in Mr. Schumer's office said the pipeline deal was only included at the insistence of Senator Manchin as part of any agreement related to this reconciliation bill. But like you don't have to pass it. Like he is just Manchin after all. And sure, will it create some jobs? Well, I guess theoretically they have to lay the pipe down, and then not much, I'm assuming. We know how these pipelines go. They always make big grand claims about jobs that are gonna be produced, and then it turns out it doesn't produce as many jobs as your average sized Denny's. So cut the BS on that. It's not true. Shoring up American energy security. I need you, if you're new to American politics, to understand this. It's not like they put the oil in the pipeline, it goes through the pipeline, and then they bundle it up and give it to Americans. That's not how it works. It goes to the same places to be refined and then shipped to the global market. It has at best a very indirect effect on overall gas prices, let alone our own energy independence, because it isn't our energy as soon as they bottle it up. So bear that in mind. We're gonna talk a lot more about it, including why not only Manchin, but Schumer might have a slightly different motivation for wanting this pipeline to be approved. But JR, I know we have talked about this amendment and the package of things in it before. What do you think about what they've gotten there and the chance of it succeeding?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that motivation from Chuck Schumer there. But first of all, peanut butter and chocolate. Hey, yo, that sandwich might actually be bomb. You actually stumbled into something decent there, I think, when you said peanut butter and chocolate.
It is awesome.
But you said this like
things
that shouldn't go together. I thought that's
no, it should. Okay, it should go together, and often does for me.
That does happen. But also, there was the point in that whole thing. Again, the motivation behind this, Joe Manchin getting in his amendment, and they specifically point out for West Virginia jobs. They always say things like that. Jobs in Texas, jobs in Kansas, jobs in North Dakota. Hey, yo, I live in California. I live in Southern California. You know, that bastion of liberalism and those damn Hollywood types that always want something. Maybe we want to stop with the wildfires. Maybe there's things we want to do to help with our lack of clean new sources of water. Things like that happen. We have droughts all the time here, right? How much do other politicians in other states that are on the other side of the country go, well, that's gonna help produce more things for California jobs. It'll be a boom for this. And they go, who cares about California? Those stupid libs out there. But we can't say, I don't give a damn about these West Virginia jobs that actually get 35 to 40 of them to continue to do more things to harm our environment because Joe effing Manchin wants to put in this new pipeline and look good for his political career. Yep. That's what we're concerning ourselves with. Joe Manchin providing something to West Virginia so that he can look good. Why do we give a damn about that? But they expect us to. But then we see wildfires happening out here, and what we get from many conservatives, specifically Donald Trump, when he was in office, is F those people in California and their wildfires. Maybe they should do something different out there. That's the problem, they suck. That's the things that are said about California when our issues come up, and it could be a national solution to it. When we get over there and has to do with pipelines, the Keystone XL to Joe Manchin's West Virginia jobs, when all that happens, we're supposed to care. And if I say I don't give a damn about those jobs that need to be transitioned into new energy type of jobs, because those are jobs too, we're called horrible people and anti-American, but it's never the other way around. Why is that?
I noticed that too, that is suspicious.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.